Big sell-off on Thursday, but the bottom line is we have yet to close a weekly session above the low 350s key overhead long-term resistance. Last week, we certainly pushed through it, even closed above it a couple of days. In terms of the long-term price swings, you can't count on the buy signal unless we close above the 350-139 and 350-260 area on a weekly basis. Didn't happen. That in itself, that we closed back below it at the end of last week, was a sign of a market that had rejected, at least on the daily chart, that buy signal. The market then predisposed to bearish rotation. We didn't sign off on the sell signal fully until we closed just a couple of days ago. And this is Wednesday, where we closed below the 349.10. That was our go with to 281.06. In other words, the channel bottom we now find at 281.06. It was in the upper 270s yesterday. So we tested this channel bottom. We also on Friday opened just below 326.34 channel bottom, and that was also a sign of weakness. We broke a 3/8 Fibonacci on the way down. Obviously, there's a verbal war going on right now between Donald Trump and Elon Musk that apparently has bearish consequences for Tesla. I'm not quite sure how all that math adds up, but here we are. So 281.06 is still a buyable support level. A buyable, especially if you've been short. 281.06 is a profit-taking area. Above 281.06, a recovery can ensue, possibly back into the low 350s again over the next 2 to 3 weeks. But I don't see a spike out of here over the next 2 to 3 days. I do see within 1 to 2 weeks a return to the low 350s, holding above 281.06. Inversely, if we close below 272.87, just the opposite. Within a week or two, a return to 221.86. We could get a nice bounce here for a few days. I don't see 221.86 though as a support level you want to buy on a multi-week basis. 4 stars multi-week is the 272.87 to 281.06 area, above which we can recoup the losses that have played out over the last week of trade back into the low 350s again over the next week or two. If we close below 272.87 over the next week or two, 221.86. And also, I think if we close below 272.87, I see longer term bearish continuation down into the potentially the upper 150s to mid 160s. And I'm going to call that a 1 to 2 month target. If we break 221.86 shortly after testing it, then yes, we're talking a 3 to 5 week sell-off into the 159.04 to 165.15 area. I know that seems far-fetched, but I've seen it before. This can happen. Check us out at wickedstocks.com. You get a 5-day free trial up front. You also get weekly Apple stock, daily triple Q, daily SPY, weekly S&P 500, weekly NASDAQ 100 analysis, and 2 stock picks every week. You can see that all by going to wickedstocks.com.